and welcome to Social Studies Geography session. Let's start Class 5, Chapter number 1, Latitudes and Longitudes. In this session, we are going to cover topics like globe, imaginary lines, latitudes, longitudes, grid system, and international date line. Do you know, students, what is the meaning of a globe? Wow, let's learn. A globe is a small model of the earth and is spherical in shape. It's true representation of the earth's shape, continents and oceans. It used to study the earth and also to locate place. Jojo, I have question for you. Can you answer my question? Do you know how pilots navigate? Of course, my dear friend Lily. I have answer of your question. Maybe pilots are using kind of imaginary lines to navigate? Okay, so students, let's talk about Jojo's question. Let's learn something about imaginary lines. The horizontal and vertical lines are drawn on maps and globes are called imaginary lines. However, these lines are not actually drawn on the Earth's surface. If we look at the Earth from space, we do not see any such lines on its surface. Hence, we call them imaginary lines. Latitudes are imaginary lines which run from west to east. The lines of latitude are measured in degrees. They are numbered from 0 to 90 degrees north or south. Let's learn some important lines of latitude, and they are the equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle. The important line of latitude. Why this line is called as an important line of latitude, the equator. The reason behind that is equator divides our earth into two equal halves. In this figure you can see that equator horizontally divides our earth. Upper part of the earth is called northern hemisphere and the lower part is called southern hemisphere, and the equator is the longest latitude. Some other important lines of latitude. Equator at 0 degree. Now if we are moving from equator to the North Pole, Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degree north, Arctic Circle at 66.5 degree north and North Pole at 90 degree. From equator to South Pole, Tropic of Capricorn 23.5 degrees south, Antarctic Circle 66.5 degrees south and South Pole at 90 degree. Here we have some more information about this latitude. There are 90 latitudes to the northern hemisphere, 90 latitudes to the southern hemisphere. So in total we have 181 latitudes including the equator at 0 degree. Let's discuss some features of latitudes. All latitudes are complete circles except the North Pole and the South Pole. They are points. The length of the latitudes decreases as we move from the equator to the poles. The latitudes are located at equal distance from one another. The latitudes are parallel lines, hence they do not cross or meet each other. So students, as we know that horizontal and vertical lines are called latitudes and longitudes, right? We already learned about horizontal lines that are called latitudes. Now, the vertical lines on a globe or a map are called meridians or lines of longitude. These imaginary lines run from the North Pole to the South Pole, crossing the parallels of latitude. They are numbered from 0 to 180 degree east or west. Some important lines of longitude are prime meridian at 0 degree, international date line at 180 degree. Now in this figure you can see the longitude vertically dividing our earth into two equal halves, right? Western hemisphere and eastern hemisphere. Students, just observe this picture. The picture depicts what? Guess? Yes, it's Royal Observatory at Greenwich, London. The picture depicts the Royal Observatory, Greenwich, London. So, the prime meridian at 0 degree passes through the Royal Observatory at Greenwich, London. The observatory played a very important role in the study of the history of sun, moon, stars and planets. The other longitudes are measured from the prime meridian and marked as east or west. Let's discuss some features of longitudes. All longitudes meet at the poles. All longitudes are of the same length. The distance between two longitudes is maximum at the equator. The distance decreases as we move towards the poles. Two opposite meridians form a great circle. There are 180 meridians to the east of the prime meridian and 180 to the west of the prime meridian. The meridians of 180 degree east and 180 degree west are the same. So in total, there are 360 longitudes. Let's discuss about grid system. Yes, in the picture you can see some vertical and horizontal lines are intercrossing each other, right? So, latitudes and longitudes intersect or cross each other and form a network of lines. This is called the grid system. We use the grid system to find the exact location of a place on Earth. To find the exact position of a place, we need the accurate value of the latitude and longitude which pass through it. The point where both the lines intersect or cross each other is the location of the place. Now, how to find it out the time difference between two longitudes? Longitudes help us calculate time. The Earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. 1 hour has 60 minutes and there are 360 meridians. So, 24 multiplied by 60 is equal to 1440 minutes. Now, what we need to do? We need to do some calculation like 1440 divided by 360. Then which answer will get? 4. So hence the time difference between two longitudes is 4 minutes. Now how this international dateline plays an important role? Let us discuss. So, When we cross the 180 meridian or the international date line, we gain a day. As in this picture you can see, the 180 meridian separated two calendar dates. It is because of this reason that the places situated in the eastern hemisphere are one day ahead of the places situated in the western hemisphere. Info capsule for all of you. The length of Earth's day is increasing. When Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago, its day would have been roughly 6 hours long. By 620 million years ago, this had increased to 21.9 hours. Today, the average day is 24 hours long, but is increasing by about 1.7 milliseconds every century. The reason? The moon is slowing down Earth's rotation through the tides that it helps create. Earth's spin causes the position of its tidal ocean bulge to be pulled slightly ahead of the moon Earth axis, which creates a twisting force that slows down Earth's rotation. As a result, our day is getting longer, but not long enough to make a difference to your busy schedule.